Hello all, Erick Hoxter here, back again with a rapid chess game against Excel, rated 1469. And I've been saying I wanted to try the Caro-Kann, so against e4. All day I've been playing e5 and then running into the Spanish, and I haven't been liking my results, so I'm going to try something different. When I was first starting to play chess online, I used to play the Caro-Kann a lot. Um, I can still play d5 here. Exchange the center pawn. I used to play the Caro-Kann a lot, and because I was a novice, I didn't really know much about it, and I still don't, but I'm more principled than I was when I first started out, so let's see. My immediate thought was developing my knight to c6, but again, I'm thinking my amateur thoughts are getting the best of me because the first thing I thought of was if I could place my knight anywhere, I'd place it on d4 and attack the bishop just because I want the bishop pair, which are good things to keep in mind, but I'm not sure if it's the best thing in this to be focusing on. And I have a couple people that do comment on some of my videos about things I should and shouldn't do, and cheering me on and everything. So I really do appreciate that. That's why I'm going to be more expressive in my thoughts. So let's see. It's a little hot in my room, or in my office rather, but I do have the window open, so you might hear some sirens or motorcycles go off. Apparently, it's been a very busy day at the office for some of the emergency personnel. Okay, I wanted to play e4 to get my bishop developed. I considered or e5. I considered e6, but that blocks in my bishop. I could develop that first, but I'm not sure where I want to place my bishop. And one thing I learned is that knights. It's easier to place knights on squares that you want to rather than bishops, because you can even tell with this bishop, it could go to d7. It could want to go to e5 or e6 rather, uh, f5, and then it could even want to pin the knight in some positions. So I might just develop my other knight. Or you know what? I might develop my bishop and pin the knight. But do I want to risk the bishop pair? I don't think so. Yeah, and then I'll play d4 maybe. But he can play or ah e5. I need to learn my squares as well. I keep thinking I'm white. Uh, he could play d4, and then I won't have my e5 square, and I can't take his pawn, so that'll be no fun. I briefly considered knight d7 because I like having my knights connect. It's always a cool protective thing for me. Especially if your opponent likes to come down and pin your knight, it's cool to have your knights connected. That way you're not worried about a mispositioning your knight, as long as you're not hanging one of your center pawns in some positions. Not the Caro-Kann, but uh, many other openings as well. But back to my first point, my Novice to Master e-castles. My Novice to Master Rapid videos in 1 and 2 have been getting a decent amount of comments. MSK Chess is coming back. It started commenting again. I haven't talked to Dr. Chris Angel, who I did my first game with, my first Novice to Master game ever with. I can play e5 now and get a strong center. I think that's most important, and I'd hope you guys would agree with me. So we've started to develop a better sense of patience. I'm trying to talk a little more through my moves before I make them, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be working. So I just don't want to blunder, especially with this guy. He seems to be pretty decently rated. Your provisional rating's at 1500, so I don't know how many games he's played. Let's see. Oh wow, he plays classical a lot. Over 2,299 games. I'm gonna protect my pawn again, and then probably castle kingside. So that is his rating. I've played a decent amount of classical games, nowhere near that amount, 174. I haven't been on League Chess that long. I usually play on chess.com, but since losing my Diamond membership, I haven't been playing, and I plan on getting it again. So Mm, yeah, I would have just played d5. D4. See what I mean? I keep thinking I'm on the white side. And that's another bad practice is not knowing your squares, especially playing as black. Just not being able to name them, know their colors. It helps with finding certain knight moves, uh, knowing what diagonal your bishop's on. It just helps with the full board awareness. I think I can just castle. I don't care if he comes down and pins my knight. I might just. I can't bring my bishop back. If he takes, I'll just take with the queen. There's nothing really going on. Castle, pin. What's my plan? That's another thing. Patience and planning. So before I castle, I should have a plan, right? Or before I make any move, I should have a plan. Or you know what? My plan right now is king safety. Now that's going to be move 9. I got to worry about a real plan. Let's see. Alright, I like my position. Uh, White seems more connected, even though I have the two center pawns. They have a bishop that's on an awkward diagonal, awkward square. I knew they were going to play that. Let's see. So they are going to, if they take my knight, my d5 pawn gets undefended. No bueno. Can I make a threat that is equal to the power of the knight, power of the pin on the knight there? I don't think so. So how can I defend my d5 pawn? Bishop to e6, knight to b4. However, after a3 or c3, that's a futile attempt to protect my knight. Fun story, I had a manager once who I ended up calling them on their day off, and they didn't answer. And when I went in, they felt the need to remind me of the protocol for calling out of work, and he actually used the word futile. He said, "Well, your attempts to contact me were futile." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I, I I just immediately thought of a Mortal Kombat game or something of like old age, and it's just it was funny, but it's just kind of one of those things that make you step back and say, "Oh, all right, sure, that's the word you want to use." All right, I'm just going to defend my d5 pawn. I have to admit, I'm cheating when I'm talking about these squares. I'm looking really hard at the grid just to make sure I don't mess them up anymore. He attacks it again. Now, if I play d4, hmm, d4, the knight could pop into b5 and not really threaten anything. So is that the move I want to play? Why, yes, it is. And I'm not worried about trading the light square bishops using my f pawn because it gives my rook the file here, and my king doesn't have to worry about too many light square threats besides the queen, and I have a queen to combat that. Oh, they want to attack my bishop. Oh, my knight. They want to double up on my knight instead. Let's see. I think I just protect it with the bishop and call it a day. I didn't really have to. Yeah, I didn't have to because defending with the pawn, my g pawn. But I don't know if I'd want to take the knight with the g pawn and ruin my king side. And then after the trading of my light square bishops, have the queen come into g3, and just wreak some havoc. If someone can wreak of anything, I don't want it to be havoc. And Apologies again for the noise outside. We live really close to an airport and apparently near a pretty bad neighborhood. Oh, okay. What are you doing? You're attacking my bishop and you're defending your bishop, so you wouldn't ruin your pawn structure if I traded. You're also attacking b7. If I take the bishop, he has to worry about that first, because taking the pawn would be useless. I don't want to trade my bishops though. What if I play bishop c8? But then I want to have my rooks connected. And it's my good bishop for their bad bishop. A good bishop is signified by the, see how my bishop's blocked in by my two center pawns? It's not going to really have a good range no matter where it is on the board. It's a bad bishop. So I may just pin their knight and let him have the pawn. Pin the knight. But that's the thing, I don't have a concrete plan. But I feel that my pieces are working together a little more. You know what? No. I'm protecting the pawn. I am going to see where being careful gets me. I am going to be careful. And I keep their knight out of g5, so there's no real threats. And plus my rook is there. And my f-pawn's defended 3 times, so even if they have the knight and bishop combo, the second most popular noob combo, they won't be really threatening anything. And the biggest noob combo is queen h5 on move 2. e4, e4, e5, queen h5, and then you got to bring out your knight to defend your pawn. And then they debuff their bishop, and then you play g6, attacking their queen. Then they play queen f3, again trying to attack your king and checkmate you. And usually when that, I just usually play queen d6 and just trade queens, and it just takes away their power. And then at that point, resistance is futile. You see what I did there? Alright. Their knight doesn't have many good squares. Knight on the rim is grim. Oh, what was the other part of that phrase? I just said the last game. The knight on the rim is grim. And I added something to it. I forget. Oh well. I can't be funny all the time. So I can't play b5 and attack their knight again. That's useless. That's futile. I wonder if my knight will be better placed on the king side. Usually they say when you're developing attack, you should go in the direction of your center pawns. So I should be attacking on the queen side. But I don't really want to play on the queen side, because I always feel like I need to defend on the king side right now. I need to get my bishop in the game. Maybe my bishop belongs on b7. That is where I want it. Yes, it is. Look at this nice diagonal. I wasn't thinking of that. So they want to attack my center. I'm going to play rook e8. That's my immediate thought. Because if they take my pawn, I'm going to take with my e-pawn and attack their queen and have a little fun. I just need to hurry up because I'm talking a little bit more than I'm playing, so I'm pretty down on time. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take with my pawn. Oh, actually, oh, you know what? It will be good for me, even if it isn't even trade. If I decide to trade everything, my rook will be on the e file, so I'll be happy. Yeah, let's do this. Thumbs up, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. At least I just hope I have a more sound position than than Leroy did when he went to attack. Let's see. So I have a deep pawn in my enemy territory that's defended twice. He attacks it. It's not a real threat because if they take, I take with my bishop. But I had a feeling I wanted to move my knight anyway to a better square. Should I create a flight square for my king? I know I wanted to come to the center eventually. So if I play h6, if I ever decide to move my bishop, it helps defend the, helps box out the knight a little bit, even though it would still be able to come into the e file sometimes, in some positions. I could play knight to e5 or b4 and attack the pawn. And I'm still a little sick, so I might be muting my microphone every now and then so I can cough and everything and not have people annoyed at me. But I almost want to play knight e4 or e5 to encourage knight trades so I can kind of get some back rank threats. Because how do they defend their pawn? Yeah. Oh man, but that I see that's the point of being a novice. I can't play knight e5 because tell me if you know why. That's right, because my d pawn's hanging. Well, it'll just be a trade of pawns. I'll take their pawn on d3, attack the rook, attack the back rank. Oh, so you want to have my bishop, eh? I'm gladly going to go ahead and take your knight there, and then the pawn too. Oh, but you're going to be attacking my rook. You're going to take my rook. You're going to try and take my rook. Clever, clever. But that's not going to happen. Check in h6, and I should be fine. Someone commented telling me I need to look more into the moves in the middle game because I just hang and drop pieces. So I have to worry about my biggest threats, which is right now f7, threatening to win my rook, so I can check and get out of that, and I can also protect my bishop with that check by moving it away. I could play it to like a6. That seems more sound. Actually, check king g2 and then h6. No, because I don't want to get back ranked. Oh, well, they can't right away because my bishop's going to be there. Okay. So even if they do find a way to protect their pawn, my bishop's going to be covering c8. So I still have the ability to play h6. Because now I have back rank troubles. Now, if they check, should I go to H or F? I'm thinking I should go to F8. Oh, but you want to throw in discoveries, don't you? You like discoveries. Yeah, you do. So now I almost have to go to H8. So I don't have a way to threaten anything. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Crap. That's the game. I didn't see that was a mate in two. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he missed it. That was checkmate. That was mate. But he can still win my bishop. Maybe I should tell him. No, I'll tell him after the game if he's still around. I'm gonna go ahead and type it and then save it. Amen. 25 R F8 mate. Okay. Man, but he still has it. So I have to sacrifice my bishop. I have no choice. Yeah, I have no choice. I could have played bishop c8, saved my bishop. Yeah. So I thought my bishop was a lost cause. I could have played bishop c8. I could have played bishop c8, couldn't I? Now I'm down a piece and two pawns. This is resignable. I'm just gonna play this a few more moves, and if he doesn't really blunder anything, then I don't think it's gonna be worth playing. Yeah. Not a huge fan of my position. Being down 5 points in material alone, the computer will probably be raging. Oh, that was rough. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I just didn't see how serious the threat on F2 was anyway. Yeah. Right here, I still should have been looking at not saving my bishop, but looking at the threat on F2, F7. Yeah. I should have played my rook back. Rook E7 was best. Yeah, rook E7. And then we just trade rooks. I have the bishop pair. He has a knight and a bishop. A knight that can't go anywhere, and a bishop that is almost trash. That would have been winning. That would have been winning. Alright, well, actually, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm going to resign. Um, Shucks, such a loss. Um, let's see. I'm glad we're able to go back and find the move that would have been winning. I would have had the bishop pair. I would have had a bishop pair versus a bishop, really, because the knight was out of the game. Unless the bishop moved to c2 and the pawn to b3, then the knight would have a square to kind of maneuver around. Yeah, and everything just came down for me. All right, well, we experienced our first loss. I'm going to go ahead and resign in this one. I'm going to go ahead and tell him. good games. I gotta go. Great play. Yeah. Alrighty. Uh, Novice to Master Rapid number 3 ends in a brutal loss because I didn't focus on the immediate threats. Just as I was talking about with the comments that were made. And I appreciate the fellow who commented and told me to look for those threats where they not just win pieces, but now I gotta look for threats that, you know, threaten checkmate. So, and that's probably a common maneuver too with the rook and on the rook on the seventh and the bishop aiming in at the king and a dangerous back rank. But all right, without further ado, it's just disappointing. Until next time, be well, my friends. Easy enough. Plus 13. I'm at 1519. Look at this. The mountain's going up. The mountain's going up. Puzzle rating of 1519. Let's go with 3 for 3. Let's go with 3 for 3. Now that the video recording software is working. Uh, but last time I was feeling confident and I lost my third puzzle. So let's tone it down a bit. All right, what are they threatening?